everyone, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to share a special card that I've made for a crafty friend that I've met through YouTube and Instagram. And that is Jessica Frost Ballas. And she's not a person that I know really well, but I feel really close to her somehow because I feel like we have so much in common. One of those things is that she loves her two Sheltie dogs, and this past week has been really rough on her for uncalled for reasons. And then to make matters worse, her sweet Merlin, that's the dog that I represented here in that digi, he passed away. So I was actually already in the process of creating these two Sheltie dog digis for her and for you all when that transpired, and it kind of put a pause on things. But at the end of the day, I really wanted to create this card for her, and I hope that it will bring her some joy to see this card that represents her two dogs, Merlin and Archimedes. And if you guys are interested in the digis that I created to make these two Sheltie dogs, please go check out my blog. And I have the free digi links on the digi page there. And if you go to the blog post, there'll be links to that digi page. In order to download the digis, you need to be a blog registered user. And of course, that's free too. For a while, I was making digis like one a week, and then I took a long break. And I decided that this year I'm going to go back to trying to create more free digis for everyone. This dog here has the semi-pricked ears, and this one here has pricked ears, just like Jessica's two dogs. And I basically drew out the digis, printed them out on my printer, and then used just 3 color pencils. I used a black, a beige, and then a little bit of a warm gray because this dog had some spotting, kind of a more mottled look, and this dog had some cream coloring mixed in with the gray and the black. This is also a Diemond Dyes design team project because this base here was created with the Diemond Dyes Sugar Plum flower die set. It's this die set that has 6 flowers, and it's super easy to create. I'm going to share with you guys the process of how I made these beautiful sugar plum flowers. I also used the skeleton leaf die, and I cut vellum leaves out with that die, which I added here and here, and also this medley of leaves die, which I tucked into the little nooks and crannies, the vellum leaves that I cut out with this die. For the background here, I just used some watercolor paper and some Tim Holtz Distress ink to create kind of a rainbow effect. And for the red, I used Festive Berries. For the orange, I used Spice Marmalade. For the yellow, I used Squeeze Lemonade. For the green, I used Twisted Citron. For the blue, I used Salty Ocean. And then for the purple, I used Wilted Violet. And for the card base itself, I used a corrugated craft cardboard card base. And then for the inside, I just used some white cardstock, inked the edges with tumbled glass distress ink. And I also used the tumbled glass to stamp out these little paw prints going diagonally across the inside liner sheet. The sentiment that says dogs leave paw prints on our hearts is from this old stamp set, the Sparkle and Sprinkle Scratchy stamp set, which my friend Nat had gifted me, and that's the card. I hope you guys enjoy the process video on how to make these beautiful paper flowers, and thank you so much for watching. So I've taken the Diemond Dyes Sugar Plums die set. It's this beautiful flower die set that has 6 different flowers in it and has kind of this crinkly ends to each of the petals. It's so beautiful, and I can't believe this was the first time I'm using it, and it's super easy and really easy to use. I took a piece of plain white cardstock and cut out all of the flowers, and actually all of the flowers that I created, I just used my mouse pad as the embossing place, and I spritzed all of the flowers with this Heidi Swapp Color Shine in sheer so that all of the flowers would have a beautiful shimmer to them, which obviously you probably can't see in the video, but I'm using just this craft mat, spraying down all the flowers, not too wet, but pretty damp. And now I'm going to be crinkling up all of these flowers, just mashing them up. I'm pretty rough with this because I know I'm just going to be uncrinkling them, and I want that texture to create the look of these sugar plum flower petals. So I'm taking the largest flower and then a medium-sized one and then a slightly smaller one and then a teeny tiny one. And I'm going to just crinkle them all up pretty harshly. And then I'm going to use this art glitter glue, which is my favorite wet glue, and glue all of the different levels of flowers together. I'm unfolding all of these, making sure that not to tear any of the petals off. And I'm just using the art glitter glue and placing each layer of flower petals on top of the next, and I'm offsetting them. So you can see there, I'm not lining up the petals one on top of each other. I'm offsetting them a little bit to the left or right of each petal below it. And I'm going to do the same thing with another layer of petals, another flower die cut, and I'm going to just squeeze that down with an embossing tool. That's that ball end on the end of my tool-in-one. And the smallest little flower I am squeezing in right there in the middle and taking my embossing tool again and just squeezing that down. And now remember, all of these petals or all of these flowers are still pretty wet, so they're very malleable, but once they fully dry, they will really stiffen up and be very kind of sturdy flowers. You see, I've already made a second layered flower, and I'm going to just go through the process one more time to show you how to make this flower, just so you can see it again for those of you who are visual learners like me. This time I'm doing 5 different layers, and you can put as many layers as you want depending on how kind of full you want your resulting flower to look. I'm opening up these crinkled up flowers, and again, depending on how much you spritz the flowers with water or a color shine spray like I have here, you have to be a little bit more careful unraveling the crinkled up flowers if the paper is really wet, because the wetness can kind of make the paper more fragile and it can tear. So again, I'm just offsetting each flower level, putting a dab of wet glue in the middle there, and offsetting again. That's my 3rd layer on this flower. Doing it again. You know, so this all goes by really quickly. And because this flower die set comes with so many flowers in it, you can cut a whole bunch of them all at once. It's much faster than like punching out all these flowers would be and then doing this. And like I said at the beginning, these dies have a beautiful crinkly edge to the edges of each petal. So it comes out looking really beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed this flower making process video tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in making any purchases at Diemond Dies, whether it's this set or any other set, please use the coupon code ThanksChristina for 10% off and free worldwide shipping on all orders of $35 or more. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful crafty day.